Hi everyone, this is Julie. Thank you for stopping by to share with me today. I hope you're having a fantabulous day today. And in this video, I'm going to touch on vitamin, not going in depth with it, just mentioning some points because vitamins is one of those things that we're sold day in, day out. Sometimes people will tell you they have to get their vitamins in every day. They take multivitamin tablets because they're told that you need to take your vitamins are important, and so on. And Dr. Sebi was asked about vitamin, and Dr. Sebi said that vitamins was one of those terms that they created, much like protein or enzymes, and that minerals was the most important thing, and that we should focus on minerals because was what the body needed, not isolated vitamins. And we'll see that there's vitamins. They tell us, okay, vitamin A, the B vitamins, vitamin C, which is probably, I would say, the most focused on these days because we're told that there is something called viruses, and vitamin C is very good at boosting the immune system to prevent this. And so, what you find is that as a result of that, many people focus on buying various vitamin supplements because they think that they're making themselves better, or they think that they're making their whole system stronger by consuming these vitamins. And some people are taking these vitamins daily, some people 2 3 times for the day, because they believe that they're fortifying their system, they're making themselves more stronger, they're making themselves more immune to or less susceptible to any illnesses out there, and so they take them religiously. But the concept of vitamins is very misleading. The idea that we can consume something, isolated chemistry, as Dr. Sebi pointed out. And we have to keep in mind that before the 1900s, nobody was talking about vitamins. We have to keep in mind that vitamins is a relatively new concept. So, and it wasn't until the 20th century that they found vitamin, quote unquote, and all of a sudden it's one of the most things that you need to survive. Something that your ancestors who used to live long lives, because that's one of the lies that we're told. One of the lies that we're told is that our predecessors lived shorter lives. That's one of the things that we're told, and that is not true. Where is the evidence for that? And so we have to begin to ask ourselves, what really are vitamins? For purpose of this video, I'm just going to briefly touch on vitamin C, because as I mentioned, vitamin C is one of the more talked about vitamins. It's one that we're told that we need. And so many people are needing now because of the situation as we see with various illnesses that we are told that are now on the scene. By the time you endure one, you're told about another, and you're told about another, and so it goes, right? But have you ever wondered what's in the vitamin that you're taking? Because we're told that there are synthetic vitamins and that there are natural vitamins. But for the moment, let's look at the synthetic vitamins, because synthetic vitamins make up the majority of the market. Some statistics will quote about 80 to 90% of the vitamins on the market being synthetic vitamins. And have you ever wondered where did these come from? Now, let's briefly take a look at vitamin C, because that's the one now that most people are focused on. How is synthetic vitamin C made? Since most of the people who consume vitamins today are in fact consuming synthetic vitamin C, let's look at how vitamin C is made. The reality is that most of the world's vitamin C is made industrially, starting with cornstarch. And two main processes are used. One, the Reichstein process, which was developed in the 1930s. And the second is what some people call the modern method, which is a two-step fermentation method. So just briefly, let's look at the Reichstein method. This is a mixed chemical and microbial process, and it goes like this. First, starting with cornstarch, which is broken down into glucose. The glucose is hydrogenated to produce sorbitol. Sorbitol is then fermented using bacteria to produce L-sorbose. Then sorbose is then chemically oxidized using acetone and other reagents to create 2-keto-L-gulonic acid, 2-KLG. And then 2-KLG is chemically converted into ascorbic acid. Right? So that is the older method. That's the Reichstein method. And this was the method that was used mainly since the 1930s, but some consider it more labor intensive. So now there is another method that is used. The second method that they use to create synthetic vitamin C is a two-step fermentation process. Some people refer to it as the modern method. The first thing that is done is to convert glucose to L-sorbose using a first bacterium. And then the next step is to convert L-sorbose to 2-LKG using a genetically engineered microbe. And then the 2-KLG is then crystallized to form ascorbic acid. This method, it uses fewer steps. It's a cheaper way to create vitamin C. So think about it. They start with glucose, which is a type of sugar, and through a series of processes, they convert this into ascorbic acid and have managed to convince the world that this is something healthy, that this is something good, that this is something that we all need. Unfortunately, science has convinced the world that humans lost the ability to produce vitamin C about 40 to 61 million years ago. That's what they say, that we lost the ability to produce vitamin C due to a genetic mutation during the evolution of early primates. Yep, that's the story. And as such, because of the mutation, we cannot complete this final step of converting glucose into vitamin C. If ever I heard a load of, and this is what they sell people, and it's just unfortunate because I think some of the things, I think science, a lot of what is called science is the work of fiction and lies. Science, as some people describe it, has become the new religion, and and this is why there is this pushback when new ideas, or rather old ideas in many respects, are unearthed, because all of these things have been challenged. But of course, they won't allow it. They won't allow an alternative viewpoint outside of what is sold to the people. Do you know how much is made per year by the vitamin industry? Vitamins are a part of the dietary supplement market. According to figures from 2023, that market accounts for about $170 billion. For 2021, vitamin supplements market was valued at $47.5 billion. In 2023, it was estimated to be 52 to 55 billion dollars, and it is projected to reach 68 billion dollars by 2028. And now North America, led primarily by the US, and Europe dominate the market, and the fastest growing is Asia Pacific. So when we look at this, we see that this is not something that is trending down. It is actually trending up as more and more people from various societies are being pulled into this. And so it's quite clear that this is another thing that has been created that people have been pulled into. and they have been convinced about thinking that this is another thing that will save them, that will save their health. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but Dr. Sebi's teachings are here, and the more, hopefully, the more people are exposed to Dr. Sebi's teaching, it will become more and more of an eye opener, and people will be willing to investigate more and really check out the information that they're being told is factual. And so I just wanted to just touch on this topic briefly. The video, yeah, I know it's kind of long, but sometimes I want to do the short videos, but some topics it just goes. But anyway, guys, don't forget to check out the blog, the africanbiomineralbalance.com, and let me know what you think below. Have a fantabulous day. Ta-ta.